We could all use some encouragement. And I've got some good news for you. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Mark. Greetings. Welcome back to 5 Minutes with Mark. Today we pick up our story in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 1, beginning at verse 23. Now there was a man in their synagogue with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be quiet and come out of him." And when the unclean spirit had convulsed him and cried out with a loud voice, he came out of him. Then they were all amazed, so that they questioned among themselves, saying, "What is this? What new doctrine is this? For with authority he commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him." And immediately his fame spread throughout all the region around Galilee. Have you picked up on that word immediately yet? We've read that a lot right here in the first 28 verses of the Gospel of Mark. I told you you're going to see that one. But this is a pretty fascinating little story, isn't it? We know from the last session that Jesus has gone into the synagogue. He's begun teaching them. The people are amazed because he's teaching in a different manner. And then we see that there's a man with an unclean spirit. There's a demon-possessed man in the synagogue. Isn't that fascinating? That the church might actually have someone who had a spiritual need sitting in the seats. I think that happens a lot more today than we realize. But this man, the spirit in him, this unclean spirit, recognized the authority and the power of Jesus, and he begins crying out, "Who are you? What are you here for? What are you going to do? We know who you are. We know you're the Holy One of God." So one of the things Jesus probably did not want was to have his cover blown by an unclean spirit, by a demonic spirit. And so he immediately tells him to be quiet, and come out of him. And it says that the unclean spirit convulsed him. And I want you to picture this in your mind, right? You're sitting in an everyday Sabbath service. This is it's another Sunday morning. There's a guest speaker who came in. Hey, this guy's kind of interesting. And right in the middle of his sermon, all of a sudden, Joe over in the corner starts losing his mind. And he's jumping up and he's yelling and he's screaming and he's making these outrageous statements about the guest speaker. "I know who you are, Jesus of Nazareth. I know that you're the Son of God. You're the Holy One of God." And then the guest speaker looks out and goes, "Hey, be quiet and come out of him, unclean spirit." And then there goes Joe flopping on the ground, just crying out with a loud voice. And then the evil spirit comes out of him, and Joe's left there in his right mind. It was a mind-blowing moment for the people of Capernaum. Now again, isn't it interesting that God is going to do this, that Jesus is going to begin his public ministry in a tiny little fishing village way up on the Sea of Galilee, long way from Jerusalem, long way from the center of attention. But it says that the people are amazed and they're asking themselves, what just happened? What was this that we just heard? With authority, he was teaching us, and then to prove that that authority was real, he uses it to cast out an unclean spirit. We just saw it with our own eyes. Boy, the town was abuzz that afternoon as the people came out and began telling everyone that they could see, "You will never believe what happened at synagogue today. You're not going to believe what happened." And it says that his fame spread throughout all the region of Galilee. Hey, they were excited about this Jesus because, believe it or not, they've been doing the same thing the same way for generations at this point. And all of a sudden, something fresh and new and exciting and powerful happened. And remember, John the Baptist has been around. And so they're aware, there's a buzz going around. There's this messianic fervor, as you will, this idea that the Messiah was coming and could be coming any day. That was kind of baked into the background of people's psyche and into their hearts. And now this really incredible moment occurs in the synagogue. What can you do when you encounter an authoritarian figure like Jesus, when you encounter the Son of God? What can you do when this happens? All you can do is go and tell other people what you've experienced. That is what we all should be doing every day. Hey, Jesus is different. Jesus has power. Don't ever doubt it. When you have the chance, go share what you experienced in the presence of Christ. See you next time. I hope you're enjoying this Bible study, this quick devotion. If you'd like more content, you'd like to know more about me and see more of the things that I'm doing, check out my website, theeclecticmonk.com. There you'll find out about my video vlog, my podcast, and a whole lot of other stuff. Hope you'll join me there.